Yes, welcome to my channel, Maths with Andrew. And in today's lesson, we are going to learn about differentiation. So someone will need to know the meaning of differentiation. That's the definition for the starters. And the differentiation means the change of a parameter or a variable with respect to another variable. In other words, differentiation deals with changing quantities. For example, like a gradient of a curve. Now, when we are dealing with differentiation, you need to learn this dy dx is commonly used. And someone should know what it means and how it is pronounced. Some people may think that this is dy divided by dx, which is not correct. This one is read as dy dx, and it is a rate of change and not a fraction. This is a rate of change, not fraction. Dy dx means the rate of change of y with respect to x. Rate of change of y with respect to x, abbreviated as WRT x. Other names for dy dx it can also be called a derivative of y with respect to x. You can also call it differential coefficient of y with respect to x, or a gradient function. Now, we need to know how all the methods or the rules used in differentiation. There are quite many rules or methods that we use in differentiation, and we can go through them here quickly. Rules of differentiation, and we shall look at them one by one. The first rule is called the constant rule. We shall dive deep into that later on. Then the second rule is called the power rule. We also have constant multiple rule. We have the sum rule. Number 5, we have the product rule. We can also talk of the quotient rule. There is a chain rule. Then we also have the first principle. So in our differentiation, we shall look at all this one by one. So first things first, let's go to the first rule, and that is the constant rule. Constant rule, also abbreviated as derivative of c, and it is always 0. For example, when you are told to differentiate or get the derivative of 7, the answer is 0. Then also any other number, maybe derivative of negative 20, you still end up with 0. Derivative of any constant number, maybe 15, it is always 0. It is important to know this because as we go into other rules, there's where we shall apply this. But for beginning, you need to know that any derivative of any constant number is 0. So this is all about the constant rule. Let's go to the power rule. The power rule says that we multiply the index can also mean power, of the given variable by the same variable with its index reduced to 1. Let's say you have y equals to x to power n. When you are applying the power rule, here you will have the y dx equals to n times x, but this n, which is the index, reduces by 1. That is the power rule. The index has to reduce by 1. Let's see an example of a number under this. We can be given a question that, given that y is equal to x to power 5, find the y dx. This is very simple to understand if you have followed the other rule that says multiply by the index and reduce the index by 1. So how do you work out this? To find the y dx, if y is equal to x to power 5, the y dx is the same as the power, which is 5. We multiply it by this x, multiplies this side, 5 times x, then the 5, which is the index, reduces to 1. So our final answer is dy dx equals to 5 times x, that is 5x, then this side 5 minus 1, that is 4. So the answer is 5x to power 4. Let's see another example here. You can be given a function and say, we can say, given that fx is equals to x to power 7, find the f prime of x. So the function given is x to power 7. F prime stands for the derivative of this, or the dy dx. So this one still we use the power rule, which says that get the power, which is the index, multiply it with the variable that you have, and the power is reduced to power 1. So f prime of x will give you 7x to power 6. This rule is very simple and easy to master. Let's go into the third rule, and it will be the last one for now. Then the next videos we shall do other rules. The third rule is called the constant multiple rule. Constant multiple rule. This constant multiple rule is a combination of the constant rule and the power rule. Combination of the constant and power rule. You can be given a number that y is equal to 5x power 4. And you are to find the dy dx. What you need to know that this 5 is the constant And now this is the variable. So applying the constant rule and the power rule, we bring the 4 and multiply by 5. Then the x, which is a variable, we reduce the power by 1. Now dy dx gives us 4 times 5, that is 20. X and the power 4 reduces by 1 and it becomes power 3.